Tell us a little bit about A.B Consulting and why the interest in this conference, or why the conference is interested in you.
I started A.B Consulting in 2015. I come with about 25 years of executive HR experience in the luxury hospitality tourism world. I lived in Bermuda for 3 years. I was a consultant with PricewaterhouseCoopers, and when I started my practice, some of my early projects ended up being in Bermuda, and I found very quickly, given my passion for education and for training, that there was a need in the Caribbean market. And slowly our practice then expanded to include Turks and Caicos, St. Lucia, Cayman Islands, and so we really specialize in training and development services for the Caribbean. That includes leadership and team development, management development, service excellence, and executive coaching.
Today you talked about harnessing equity, education, empowerment in tourism, breaking barriers, building bridges. Tell us a little bit about your presentation and how you addressed this particular theme.
Okay, thank you. So really my premise was to look at two angles. One was around what is it to be a sustainable leader, and also what does it mean to have sustainable employment practices. The world of sustainability has, it really expanded to include people development and people development practices. I think there's an incredible opportunity in the Caribbean to really coordinate this effort. We also heard from Barry Collymore with WISH, where he's trying to achieve something similar. So I'm deeply committed to the region. I have seen what the investment in training and education can do, not just to change or enhance the employee and the guest experience, but the impact it's had on livelihoods. And so very passionate about the region and the work that's happening here.
What are some of the challenges in this region, in this particular area, and the opportunities?
Sure. I think, the challenges in the region really are probably around moving away from what we consider to be a very sort of traditional model of how you enter the hospitality and tourism world, typically through education. I've had GMs tell me that they have some of their best employees that have just come in from secondary school and decided they were passionate about the industry. I think there's also a need for adaptability in this industry in terms of how we're dealing with employees from diverse backgrounds as well as guests from diverse backgrounds. And I think what I'd like to see more of in the region is a coordinated, unified effort. I think a lot of countries are sort of doing their own thing, but how do we kind of bring this around into a full-fledged investment in Caribbean workforce development is really, I think there's a huge opportunity. Everyone wants the same thing. They want a great employee experience, they want a great guest experience, and having common service standards, I think, would really help achieve that.
What advice would you share to young people, given what you just said? There are those who pursue the formal education route. There are
Sure.
those who receive their training on the job. Is it acceptable to go either route?
I think having some form of background or education in hospitality and tourism is helpful. A number of jurisdictions, including Bermuda and Turks and Caicos, are taking hospitality and education at the secondary school level and even at the primary school level, because these are very large contributors to the GDPs in the countries. So why does the education piece either start off island or with very limited access opportunities? So I think the sooner you can start educating the younger generation of what this means, the more you'll see in terms of interest and aptitude for the industry as well. I think it depends on what your career path is. If you want to be a general manager or you want to run a hospitality company, I think formal education will always be helpful. But there's something to be said about on-the-job training as well. It really is where you want to take your career. But if you really want to get into this industry, then take that step. Walk into a hotel, shadow, watch the operations, have a dining experience. Ask for informational interviews. See if you can get to back of house. See how a kitchen works. See how housekeeping works. Most leaders I know will open doors for those types of opportunities. We certainly heard that again today from Adam Stewart. We've heard that from Barry Collymore, and again, a number of conversations I've had with hospitality leaders in Grenada as well.
Your thoughts on what CTO is doing here with regard to bringing sustainable tourism development
Sure.
to the fore?
So I'm very, very grateful to the CTO for this opportunity. Certainly, it's an organization I've known for a long time. I think that what they're trying to achieve in terms of taking thought leadership in workforce development and mobilization and just the general trends in hospitality forward and bring that education to the Caribbean region is hugely important. I think the work they do in human resources, in skills development, in marketing is very important, and they are really creating a coordinated and unified voice for the industry in the region.